What have I got myself into? Oh my gosh. Stability is undeniably important when it comes to mini four-wheel drive cars. It's the first line of defense against a turn, especially important with the VZ chassis because the motor is in the back, which means the front end is quite light. So if you like these videos or anything mini four-wheel related drive, mini four-wheel drive related, please like and subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, let's get to it. So we are going to start with the front, the plates and rollers, all that good stuff, and dampers for this Cross Spear 02. It looks pretty cool as is, so we'll see how we can make it look even better. This one also was a VZ chassis, so I'm going to try to not do exactly the same, but some things probably just have to copy. Some of these parts were really difficult to get, and some of them I could only find in the FRP because they're out of stock everywhere, and I don't want to pay some scalper $20 for maybe $6 plate. Okay, so let's get at it. So I've got a lot of pieces. Some things I know 100% for sure I'll be using. I'll be using this wide front stay and wide rear. You see how that works with the VS or VZ, because it's a little smaller body, I feel like. Something cool that I got at retail, finally something cool. These gold aluminum spacers. And then I realized that the parts for the double rollers are also like a gold color, so you can just throw those on anyways, but these are the actual ones. I have two sets of these. I will put on these red lock nuts as well. What else do we got? We got just a couple of these. We got the regular reinforcing plates. So these plates are ones that are not too difficult to find. These are everywhere, but these are at, I would say, about 50% of the stores. So not too difficult to get. And then we got weights and stuff like that. I might put this on the front just because I did the double up here on this one. I didn't really want to copy it, but I actually really like how it works. So maybe I will. And then we got that we already talked about. What's the other one of those? I got these red ringed 19 millimeter. They only had 19. So I got the aluminum HG ones for, these will go on the back. You got the countersunk screws. And yeah, I think that's about it. So let's get into a little bit of planning and building. So it looks like for the front, we'll be limited to this setup. And yeah, so 19 on there. So we're going to be using 13 millimeter, 1312 doubles. Let's see. So I actually have the 1313 doubles. And if I can, I was actually planning on putting, these are cleaning right now, these 13 millimeter HG ones above them and do kind of like a triple stack. I was hoping I could put it below it, but I'm not sure that, I think last time I tried that, it didn't fit. I can give it a look again. Maybe there's something I missed, but if not, we'll just do the 13, 3 of them on top. All right, so I kind of have an idea for how this is going to go. I hope these are long enough. If not, it's okay. We don't need to use the stabilizer, I hope, because we'll have 3 stacks of these if they're not long enough. But it should be okay. So we're going to try and put this right up front and this down below it. And then in between there, in here, we're going to try and fit that 13mm roller. Yeah, that's definitely not going to work because there won't be enough clearance down here. So we might just triple stack it on top. I think that's the only solution I can find. So we are going to countersink these. So we got our handy dandy drill boy. Make sure it still works. So for this plate, we're going to be doing the far outside ones. So here and here. And this one we're going to be doing right down here. That's much easier. Yuck. All right, so we've countersunk and cleaned these up a bit. So this one, yeah, it's going to go right there. We can just, we'll keep it as is. And then this one is going to go down, kind of like so. And I'll put that up a little bit with a spacer. But first we have to get on the rollers. So we'll take these out of the packaging and we'll get these screws out and spacers if we need, and then we'll put these on top if we can't use the stabilizers. For some reason I thought these came with lock nuts, but apparently they do not. It's okay, we have sets of them. We've got our cap screws, so 25 and 30mm ones. And then these spacers in gold. These are what I was talking about. You could probably get away with using these as spacers, but they only have one size. Who knows? All right, so we'll get a screw going up through the 13 here. Since we're using 13, we'll probably need to use these long ones, but let's see which works best. Okay, so for the plan right now, we're going to use this 25mm spring washer and washer on top. I don't know if we need this washer, but I'm just going to put it there. And then we have the roller. So we'll get that set up real quick. I really like these plastic rollers. So we got a nut on there as well, just to kind of keep everything in place. But yeah, it should work pretty good. We could use a spacer here. And then I gotta find the bearing spacer. Okay, so we got the washer, or the spacer, the bearing spacer. Let's throw that on top. Is that enough room? That's sitting pretty high. Hopefully that helps keep it stable though. But we are gonna need a longer screw. All right, so back to where we were. Get this on. Right there. Okay. And then I need a little bit of rejuvenation to the bearing. Oh no. A little on the bottom too, just for good measure. And plops that on. And then this washer. Okay. So it'll be like that. I think we could, I don't know. I'm not sure what to do. I think we'll just put on, we could do a spacer and a lock nut, and that would actually top it off pretty well. And that's severely out of focus. Yeah, let's try that. It shouldn't be too far over with that. Alright, so we got our lock nut on. And one of the reasons I like to make sure everything's like measured out and stuff before I seal it up is because when you use this lock nuts, they have that plastic on the inside. And the more you use that, the easier it is for it to unscrew. So you really want to use your lock nuts, putting them on and off, or putting them on and taking them off as minimally as possible. Now we'll do the same thing on this side. All right, so almost there. All right, so now we got both of the rollers on each side here. And now we got to focus on the bottom part here. So not that one, because that one's not counterstrung, but these two. And then we'll kind of set them up like this, where one sits slightly lower than the other. All right, so originally I wanted to set it like this. I couldn't like this. Couldn't remember why. But then I remembered these two screws. And if it's set like this, that's open. But I'll probably actually have to set it like this. Let's get it zoomed out a little bit. Probably have to set it like this alongside the bottom. So we'll have to countersink some more screws. Great. All right, so I'll get that set up. Just need to make sure which screws are going to go where. So those two will go straight up through the chassis. Okay, we need some spacers too. All right, now we're going to put this on. So we got the screw, and then plate, and then spacer that's going to go up and connect to the chassis right there. Okay, so it's looking like this so far. And then the weights will go up through here. This part and this part. Okay, so we got some placeholders here for this. But yeah, it looks good. I think for weights, I'm going to use these bad boys right up on the front here. So we get some countersunk screws up in there. Yeah, it should go sit right there. These feel a little light for this one. It does kind of like go up a lot more than level out. So I think a little bit more weight will be okay to kind of balance that out. All right, so we got these screws up. I was gonna put spacers down here too, but I think I'm gonna keep it without them so it can kind of like wing up along here. It's kind of difficult to see, but it just ever so slightly curves up around this part right here. Okay, and there we go for the front. It's pretty much done. Gotta do brakes and stuff, but so far looking pretty good in my opinion. So for this video, we're gonna leave it at this with just the front, and then we will continue in the next video with the sides, which are gonna be the same as this because I couldn't figure out any other way to get those on there unless I just use the brick style ones. And then we'll do the back as well. So everybody, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, or if you have any ideas for how to change this or make it better or what's bad about it, let me know in the comments. Thank you.